You're listening to All Kinds of Beautiful here on KALX Berkeley with me, the Genderwave. In just 1 minute here, Toussaint St. Negritude is going to be taken over. So get ready for some beautiful stuff, poetry and clarinet. Toussaint's ready in there? You good to go? All right, take it away.
Hello, everybody. My name is Toussaint St. Negritude, and I'm here to share some poetry and some bass clarinet. I'm based in Vermont, and I'm currently on tour with my latest book of poems and my music, fighting fascism through my work. And I'm so delighted to be here in Berkeley, here in the Bay Area. This is where I was born and raised, and I'm so glad to be back here. So I'm going to start with this poem called For All the World to See. And here, my beloved Earth and cohabitants, here we have the rare and luminous star-crested liberationist, a fine and mellowed creature of soul-sonic proportions, though known for their glamorous plumage and flights of doubt-defying freedoms. The star-crested liberationist, more notably, is a creature of remarkable autonomy, iridescently shining not for societal approval, but brilliantly by and for their own known emancipation. Consequently, it is through such lavish self-appreciation that the star-crested liberationist is fabulously so adept at lighting and divining such unshackling skies for all the world to see. Okay, and this next poem I'm going to do, and these poems I'm performing are from a recent collection of poems. It was just published last year, called Cosmographies in Bloom. I'm sorry, the title of the book is called Mountain Spells. I'm a huge devotee of mountains. Growing up here in the Bay Area, well into high school, I thought sure Mount Tamalpais was the tallest mountain in the world, and it was such a marker for me wherever I was in the Bay. And living in Vermont, I live way out in the woods. I've done a complete turnaround from growing up here in the city, but yeah, I live out in the woods in a house that I built for myself, living with a wood stove and dealing with 500 months of winter per year and freezing temperatures. But I'm really in love with the mountains. I found them to be spiritual teachers. And so this book is called Mountain Spells. And this next poem is called Cosmographies in Bloom. Down a song flowing north, amid the boreal wilderness of innermost transformation, appears the realm of the soul-rising mountains of the moon at dawn. Obliged by the gods, down a song of stars and coniferous splendor, greens the calling of reaches higher than our shadows can modernly conceive. Down a song flowing north rises the dawnland of illuminations, welcoming the innermost of elevations to passages of expansions duly received. Behold such noble means of galactic introspection. Behold such noble means of galactic introspection. Behold each peak surrounding each surrounding peak upon peak upon peak. Behold each bewitching reach. Behold this ascension of irrepressible peace. Behold your emancipation from all dominions otherwise, for here is where your unconquerable wilderness glistens in the liberty your passion calls home, welcoming all illuminations to the dawn land incandescence of innermost reclamations, unshackling the sages from the ages long now blazing and found, down this song flowing north amid the boreal chicories lining the cosmos from the astral floor appears the realm of the soul-rising mountains of the moon at dawn. Obliged by the gods of blossoming cosmographies, behold this land your passion calls home. Okay. And it's such an honor to be able to share these poems here with you. This next poem I'm going to do, so I'm an Afrofuturist, working in all tenses, past, present, future, and really embracing the magic of the cosmic nature of our humanity. This poem is called In Pots Big as Human Dignity. My mother's family are from Alabama, and visiting as a kid, there would be these tremendous meals cooked in these huge cast iron pots. And so this is called In Pots Big as Human Dignity. Once upon a time, there will be this thing called freedom. Freedom! Freedom! Once upon a time, there will be this thing. There will be this thing called freedom. Oh, if I could only show you the view from there. Liberation, for as far as your soul can see, we'll all be loving all the love we please. Once upon a time, there will be this thing called freedom. Freedom. By this point, folks will have consciously obliterated all forms of bigotry a long, long time ago. No presumption of supremacy shall ever be allowed there. No presumption of supremacy shall ever be allowed there. No presumption of supremacy shall ever be allowed there. Once upon a time, there will be this thing called freedom. We will know this to be true because we have always known this to be true, as is the artistry of the horn of the moon. The handiwork of our liberation shall be painted clear across our lives in all the spectral hues of translucent transformation, transcendentally raising all ascendant affirmations. Once upon a time, there will be this thing called freedom, liberation, 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 for as far as your soul can see. Liberation, 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 for as far as your soul can see. In pots big as human dignity, folks will be cooking up radicalizations of things that today we couldn't even think to believe. There will be jazz and beats of people dancing in the streets. Folks will be so free, folks will be so free, folks will be so free, won't nobody remember any other way to be. Oh, if I could only show you the view from there. All right, and this next poem I'm going to do is called Something Ain't Enough for Nothing. I wrote this kind of in my grandfather's voice, my Alabama grandfather's voice, who always had these great short witticisms. So this is called Something Ain't Enough for Nothing. Back in the day, if you ain't had but 3/5 of nothing, you might be able to turn a tea-bit of nothing into something. Nowadays, 3 bits of something ain't enough for nothing. You got to be Charles Schwab just to even turn the knob. Ain't no room up in this inn. Ain't no room up in this inn for me and all my kin. Back in the day, we might find a patch of hay. Nowadays, we out with the trash. Be that as it may. Okay. Definitely inspired by gentrification. Okay. All right. Let's see. This next poem I'm going to do is a piece I wrote for my mother, honoring my mother one Mother's Day, and it happened to be that first year of COVID, when everything was shut down and things were pretty crazy, as they certainly still are now. And so I wrote this. I was actually planning on going to see her, but couldn't because of all the canceled flights. So I wrote this and sent her this poem in a video. It's called Just One Bowl of Love. My mother, having raised an entire revolution, my mother makes a whole loaf of freedom from a bowl of access denied. My mother takes a spoonful of sugar and a handful of courage and sees to the horizons of boundless generations. With the taste of sweet potato pie and a generous amount of divine seasoning, my mother has sweetened the courage of every step I take forward. My mother can nourish the consciousness of the entire table from just one bowl of love. My mother makes the whole world so much more livable, knowing full well I love her more than a mere quarantine of miles can ever tell. I love my mother. Yes. Growing up here in San Francisco and in the East Bay, I went to junior high at MLK Junior High. I'm assuming it's still there. And my mother was an activist, still is, kind of in her own way, and was involved with a lot of the movements at the time, the Black Panthers, and a lot of great movements that were going on here. It's funny to be so old to remember. I can remember the SLA, Patty Hearst, and all that stuff. But anyhow, I'm going to do an instrumental and then do more poems. This is a meditation on freedom. Okay, this next poem I'm going to do here. It's called Like Alice in the Garden of a Satchidananda Dream. Definitely a nod to Alice Coltrane. Like Alice in the Garden of a Satchidananda Dream. Green, 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 green as the day, green, green as the day, green as the day before Columbus, green as the day before Columbus, excuse me, like Perseids and perpetuity, green as hallelujahs and bloom, the orishas of our fruition shall conjure beyond known bounds of comprehension, like melodies and receptivity, green as galaxies in profusion, like orbs of Dolphy in connectivity, ours is a Dogon cosmology in defiance of all colonization, leaping skies, leaping skies, leaping skies and seeds of wizardry. We are that crystalline dignity, impervious to monoscopic conclusions, shifting the consciousness, shifting the consciousness, shifting the consciousness like emissaries in perpetuity, like the Aphronicity of a Batala on a far northern street, like the frontiers of infinity, shifting the consciousness, shifting the consciousness, like Alice in the garden of a Satchidananda dream, leaping whole categories. We are green, green, green as galaxies in profusion, shifting the consciousness, shifting the consciousness, like Alice in a Satchidananda dream. Thank you very much.
Okay, that was Toussaint St. Negritude. Beautiful stuff. So glad we could get him in